I was walking through the park when I started hearing footsteps matching mine perfectly. Every step I took, they took one too. I stopped walking and the footsteps stopped instantly. I tell myself it's probably nothing, but I keep going anyway. As soon as I walk again, the footsteps come back. Now I'm walking slower, trying to stay calm, and they slow down with me. I speed up a little and they speed up too. At this point, I'm pretending to stretch just so I can look behind me without looking obvious. I don't see anyone there. I start walking again and the sound comes right back like it never left. Now my brain is fully panicking and I'm replaying every scary movie scene I've ever seen. I slow down again and everything goes quiet. I look around and still don't see anyone. Then I look down and notice gravel stuck in the bottom of my shoe scraping every time I step. I take one step and hear it. I drag my foot and hear it again. I shake my shoe and the sound stops completely. And that's when I learned fear will convince you of anything when you're alone long enough. My dad used to say one thing every single day.
If you leave the garage open, I'ma whoop your butt.
So one afternoon, I'm rushing out thinking I'll be right back. I come home an hour later, the garage is open and everything's gone.
Oh my goodness, Dad's gonna get me.
So I have no choice but to run away. No plan, no food, just me and my backpack full of regret. 10 minutes in, I'm starving. So I try to eat my emergency snack, but it melted in my pocket. That's when I realized I'm not built for this life. So I go back home. And right when I get to the driveway, there's my dad walking right up to the garage.
No!
Huh?
Dad, I'm sorry for leaving it open and getting everything stolen. I'm sorry for running away, Dad. I'm sorry.
He gives me that look, then opens the garage. And everything was there.
Ain't nobody steal nothing. I just had the garage cleaned.
Oh.
But what did you say? You ran away?
That's when I learned sometimes the real whooping starts when you come home. When I was a kid, my dad had one rule.
Here we go. Your job is to take care of Snoop.
So one afternoon, I let Snoop out to use the bathroom. And before I go back in, I notice there's a big rock sitting in front of the gate. So I move it without thinking and go back to what I'm doing.
That was a bad idea, mister.
A few minutes later, I check the sliding door and Snoop's not there.
Where'd he go?
I look around the yard, no Snoop. I look around the bushes, no Snoop. I look under the chairs, no Snoop.
No Snoop.
Then I see it, a gap in the gate, the same spot where the rock was.
Oh my goodness, he escaped.
Now I'm searching in the neighborhood, no Snoop. I'm checking in the bushes, no Snoop. Checking behind the cars, there's still no Snoop. After a while, I walk back home, out of breath, panic in my chest. And my dad is standing in the driveway holding Snoop.
Oh, thank goodness you found him. You know what time it is, right?
Here we go. Yes, Dad, I'm ready.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna whoop you.
What? Huh?
Snoop is gonna do it.
And that's when I found out about Snoop's new trick. When I was a kid, putting a star on the tree was my job. Dad would walk in like,
all right, buddy, do the honors.
And I'd climb up there like I was the manager of Christmas. But one year, I got a little too carried away. We're decorating the house, and every time I see my brothers dragging their feet, I run straight to Dad. Dad, they're being lazy again.
Oh, really? Tell them if they don't get in the holiday spirit,
he's gonna give out a holiday spanking. My brother Al doesn't care, but Dre looks at me with that silent bet. I go take my little manager break, come back, and Dre's holding the star. Yo, what are you doing?
You told Dad I was lazy, and the star gotta go up. Everybody gets what they want.
Oh, my goodness. He's trying to get Christmas revenge. I try pulling him off the tree, and the entire tree collapses like a folding chair.
What in the world?
He started it.
No, he started. But Dad didn't want to hear none of it. And that was the day I learned you could be the manager of Christmas and still get fired on the spot. So I left my house to run some errands, but as I was leaving, I felt like someone was watching me. I looked around, but I didn't see anyone. As I was driving, I felt like someone was following me. But once again, I just figured it was in my head. As I went about my day, something just didn't feel right. I could tell someone was definitely following me, but I just couldn't see them. So I had an idea. I pulled out my phone and used the camera as a mirror to see if I could spot anyone behind me. And sure enough, someone was spying on me behind a tree. I ran away and they started chasing me. I hopped in my car and drove away. I didn't want them to know where I lived, so I went to my storage unit and ran into the elevator. I didn't know if they were still behind me, but I kept on running for my life. When I got to the end of the hallway, I hid quietly, but I felt the presence of something behind me. I turned around slowly, and it was a wolf man. I ran away so fast that I ended up tripping on the floor. I knew it was over for me until I seen that it was my son, Caden. I was furious. Subscribe to find out how he was following me around. When I was a kid, my brothers never wanted to take me anywhere. They said I was too immature and would cramp their style. And yeah, maybe they were right. But one day I decided that was it. I was done being the little kid. So I came up with a plan to prove how mature I was. I ironed my church pants, tucked in my shirt, sprayed on my dad's cologne, and waited by the door. Gentlemen, I am ready for an evening on the town. They looked at me like I just applied for a job. Okay, I see you, Mr. Mature. But if you want to hang out with us, you gotta show us your cool walk. Say less. I leaned my shoulder down and started strutting down the hallway real smooth. They're behind me hyping me up, trying not to laugh. Then my other brother says, all right, now turn around real slowly and walk back. So I do the smoothest spin around, and to my surprise, my brothers were gone. I ran to the front door and they were already halfway down the street. And that's when I learned being mature doesn't get you invited. It just means you get left behind in dress shoes. When I was a kid, Halloween was the day. But one year, I got stuck on punishment.
Where you think you going?
Dad, can't you see me? I'm going trick-or-treating.
No, you're not. I just got off the phone with Mr. Williams, and he told me what you was doing in class today.
Oh, snap. I forgot Mr. Williams said he was going to call my dad today.
I'm going to wait and call your dad at the mall so you can't go trick-or-treating.
Please, Dad, I'll do anything. I'll clean, I'll take out the trash, Then he gives me this look like he's about to teach me a life lesson.
You can go trick-or-treating if you massage my feet while counting to 100.
Massage his feet? So I start counting and massaging this man's foot. And by the time I hit 60, he fell asleep. I thought about skipping some numbers, but I chose not to. All right, Dad, I did it. Can I go now? He opens one eye.
Nah, you sped up at the end. Start over.
So I do it again, this time counting extra
100.
All right, Dad, I'm done.
Nah, you didn't say every number. Start over.
This time I record myself so I have proof. See, Dad, I did it.
Boy, I can tell you edited that video. Start over.
That's when I realized I wasn't getting any candy. So it's New Year's Eve, and I suddenly realize I only have today to finish all my 2024 goals. Instead of picking one, I decide I'm gonna knock them all out. First thing on the list is spending my Starbucks points because I've been saving them all year. My family and I drive there and order way more food and drinks than we need. I get home and look back at the list, and the next thing says lose weight. So I hop on the treadmill and make it about 30 seconds before I start questioning my life choices. After that, I check the list again, and it says learn a new skill. So I grab a guitar and start teaching myself how to play, even though I don't know a single chord. That lasts about a minute. Then I look at the list again and remember being a good dad is on there too. So now I'm building a fort with Kaden. Halfway through that, Destiny walks by and I remember being a good husband was also on the list. So I scoop her up and start carrying her around the house. Right after that, Kaylani hands me a tiny cup and suddenly I'm sitting on the floor at a tea party. I finally take a seat, look around exhausted, surrounded by half-finished goals and realize it's not even nighttime yet. And that's when I learned New Year's goals feel way easier when you still have 12 months. No more junk food. Destiny wanted our family to be more healthy, so she threw away all the junk food and filled our pantry with healthy snacks. Katie and I weren't too happy about this and decided that we were going to sneak some junk food when she wasn't looking. We waited until Destiny went to the store and then snuck some junk from our hidden stash. We had all types of stuff in there. Cookies, candy bars, Takis, you name it. We were having a great time until we heard the front door open. We tried to hide everything and act natural, but Destiny knew something was up. She looked around and seen that the top cabinet was open and found all of our junk. She was so disappointed in us and threw away everything. The moral of the story is that if you try to hide something from your spouse, they will always find out. I was just eating my peanut butter and orange snack when I heard a flapping sound. When I walked into the living room, I found my son with cardboard taped to his arms. He wanted to fly like a bird and asked for my help. So I added more tape to his cardboard wings to make them stronger. But when we tested them in the backyard, the wings still weren't strong enough. Kaden was really disappointed, so I decided to try and help him again. I went to Home Depot to look for materials for new wings. First, I tried wood, but it was too heavy. Then I tried sheets of metal, but I realized they would get too hot in the sun. Finally, I bought heavy-duty paper and strong duct tape. I cut the paper into the shape of wings and taped them to Caden's arms. Now we were ready to test them. Subscribe if the wings work. Kaden took a big leap and soared into the sky. Subscribe! I was taking Kaden to his last day of school when he reminded me that he had a half day. Last year, I forgot to pick him up on time on the last day, and he didn't want that to happen again. So, to make sure I didn't forget, I asked Alexa to set an alarm for the time I needed to leave. But Alexa was having trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi. Then I set an alarm on my phone, but I remembered that sometimes I don't hear my phone's alarm. So I went to the store and bought an alarm clock. When I tested it, it wasn't much louder than my phone. I had no choice but to buy a big speaker, connect a microphone to it, and place it near the clock to amplify the alarm sound. After that, I realized the backyard was a mess, so I spent hours cleaning it and didn't hear the alarm going off inside the house. When I looked at my watch, I realized I was late to get Kaden. By the time I picked him up, he was the last one at school. Comment below if your parents have ever been late picking you up. Today is Kaylani's second birthday, and she made one thing very clear. She wanted the SpongeBob Big Guy Tony. We let her open the gift, and she's excited for about 2 seconds. Then she looks at it a little closer and realizes it's the wrong character. She gets upset, and now we've got a problem. I convinced myself this is an easy fix and rush to the store. I get there, and every SpongeBob Tony is completely sold out. So now I'm rushing back home, hoping maybe she forgot about it, but she didn't. At this point, I'm officially out of options. So I record my own version of Big Guy, grab a random toy, and download my remix to it. I press play, not knowing if it's gonna work, and the song came on. Big guy, big guy. She starts dancing and completely forgets about the original one.
SpongeBob Big Guy Pencil Case. SpongeBob Big Guy Pencil Case.
When I was a kid, my dad had one legendary talent, his Thanksgiving pies. People would fight over them, like full WWE. Aunties arguing, uncles hiding slices in their coat pockets. It was chaos every year. And me, I didn't even like pie until that Thanksgiving morning.
Desmond, watch these pies while I run to the store. But whatever you do, don't taste it. You'll go crazy, man.
I'm like, bro, it's pie. I'll be fine. He leaves, 10 seconds later, the smell hits me. I lean in just to smell it, and my tongue accidentally hits the crust. And suddenly, my brain goes, "More!" I take a tiny bite, then a big bite, then another. Next thing I know, I'm standing over the counter surrounded by crumbs. And all 3 of those pies are gone.
Oh my goodness, I'm a monster!
Then I hear the front door. I panicked so bad I tried to rebuild the pies.
Desmond? Yes? Where are my pies?
I think the, Hi Fairy took it. But he didn't want to hear none of that. And that's when I learned the pie was sweet, but the whooping was sweeter. When I was a kid, Black Friday meant one thing, leftovers. But my dad, he guarded the fridge like a security guard.
None of y'all better touch my ham!
So one year, Dad takes a nap, and I get a little hungry. And I see that ham chilling in the fridge, glowing like treasure. So I move slow, open the foil like a surgeon, and I take one bite, and it was good. So I take another,
And it was even better than the first bite!
before I knew it, that ham was gone. But I figured my dad would just forget.
That was a good nap. I feel like eating some ham.
Oh my goodness, I'm about to get it spanking! So I found one little piece and put it back in the fridge. Oh, what's up, Dad? Peace out.
Where you going?
Walking to the store to get a hoagie?
Nah, come over here and share this ham with me. I know how much you wanted, so
It's all right, Dad, I'm full. I mean good. But it was too late.
say huh. You ate my ham!
And that's when I learned you can still dad's leftovers as long as you're okay with a butt whooping. So I'm really angry because someone beat my high score on the Pac-Man game at my parents' house. I couldn't let someone take my title, so I had to retake the throne. I started playing the game, but every time I got close to beating the high score, I lost. I thought my hands were just sweaty, so I drove to the store, bought some gloves to keep my hands dry, and tried again. I got really close once more, but those colorful monsters got me again. I figured maybe going for a run would sharpen my skills, but it didn't help. After that run, I was a little tired, so I drove to the store and got a Red Bull, which I hadn't had in a long time. I got a burst of energy and started going wild. I knew I was ready, so I rushed to the game to reclaim my title. I stayed focused, kept my cool, and finally beat the high score. I was so exhausted afterward that I took a nap. Suddenly, I woke up to someone cheering. I looked up, and it was my dog, Snoop. I can't believe my dog beat my title. So one day I seen the friendly neighborhood guy, Yermy, looking sad. Hey, Yermy, what's the matter?
Yermy needs some money. That's what's wrong.
Well, why don't you make a YouTube channel? That's how I make money.
I don't know nothing about no YouTube, but if it can make me $5, can you teach me?
Yeah, I got you. So the first step is to figure out what you want your channel to be about.
Hey, can one of y'all help me with something?
Come on, old man. Can't you see I'm trying to learn?
I'm willing to pay $5.
I'll be right back, Desmond. Yeah, $5.
So all I need you to do is move this bin right over here.
Okay, that's easy.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go in and get your $5.
Yeah, get my $5. All right, Yermy. All you gotta do is move the bin. Whoa, Nelly, this is heavy. What's in here anyways? Ooh.
Yermy, I got your 5. What the?
I ain't seen one of these since I was a boy. Woo!
That's my grandson's. Get out of here, Yermy.
Fine then, I'll be on my way. Just give me my money.
You didn't even move the bin. I ain't paying you.
What?
Oh,
Woo! You better give me my money.
okay, here you go.
Yeah, $5.
When I was a kid, I took trick-or-treating way too seriously. I had the biggest bag, the fastest legs, and a plan. Hit the good houses first. But one year, my mask kept slipping over my eyes. I could barely see, but I wasn't about to let that stop me. Halfway through my route, I spotted Brayton, the school bully, leaving one of the fancy houses that gives out full-size candy bars.
Too slow, egghead. They're giving out the last ones right now.
I ran up the street, mask sliding down, to hurry up and get my own full-size candy bar. I made it just in time, grabbed a handful, and took off running. But then I heard somebody yelling.
Hey, that candy was for my grandkids.
I pushed up my mask and realized I was at the wrong house.
Oh, I'm going to tell your daddy. Give me back my Kit Kats.
For an old man, he was pretty fast. And the worst part, Brain recorded the whole thing in slow motion.
This is good.
Then everyone at school called me the candy criminal.